Greetings. Welcome to 5 Play Friday. We are live in the morning here with my elite tech team at a Better Official World headquarters. A little rainy outside, but I'm sure our weather is much more enjoyable than it is for others elsewhere. We are Friday. It's basketball night in America. Are we ready to look at plays? I hope so, because we got some great plays. And do I have all the answers on these plays? No, I do not. Hope everyone is doing well. Mike Myers is in the house, Michigan. I'm sure we are going to get some chilly reports of chilliness across the country. Greg Becker's in the house, producer of great documents to help basketball officials through situations. Dave Craig, wind chill minus 21. Minus 21. Ouch. Wow, that's cold. So is this cold situation in your part of the country affecting whether games are played tonight? How does that go? You know, when we here in the Bay Area, when it's sort of anticipated that weather will present issues, like we had a high wind situation recently and the games were preemptively canceled. You know, is the fact that we are so late in the season a factor in schools making those determinations in your part of the world? Let me know in the chat. Harry Rosenberg, good to see you. Good to see you. Excellent. Harry says, I just feel it could have been better with someone I could build that trust with to ask questions and get feedback on development. Yeah, well, it's great to have that, to have a mentor, somebody who can give you honest feedback. Harry, and the other option is, of course, to analyze your game video and look at all the things. Are you emulating the things that you see in officials who you respect and are trying to emulate, right? And that's one of the things we look at on this show is not just, okay, they got the call right, they got the call wrong, etc. What is the position of the official? Are they looking at the right thing, etc.? If you have that as a foundation for your game, you are poised for rapid improvement. Yeah. So, the people you work with on the games can give you feedback, and that can be super valuable. But if I'm working the game with you, I can give you some things that I noticed, but I can't give you all of the things because I'm officiating the game too. Right? So that's one of the challenges there. Dave Craig is cold. Yeah, Darwin, it sounds like he's, predominantly middle school. I imagine there are some middle school games on NFHS Network. Some, but not many. Harry, that's really the key. That is really the key. Once you start, I always say it's a spiral of confidence, right? We start officiating. It's super fast. I'm unsure. I don't know how the rules, how to apply the rules. Maybe I do know the rules, but I don't know how to apply them. I'm working with different partners. We're doing things a little bit different. There's that unease, right? And then we start to gain some confidence that, okay, I've got this, figured out this much, and I'm sure I can administer the game, etc. I'm confident. And then that shows in our demeanor and our on the court, and it's a spiral that goes up. There's obstacles along the way. There was a terrible game. It was awful. I got plays wrong. I don't know what was wrong with me, etc. There was angst in the building, etc. But that's just like a little hiccup, and then we're back on the upward trend. So there we have it. Stay in the house, Dave. Awesome. Adam C. is in the house. That's a Go Green. Is that MSU? Is that Go Blue? Go Green? Okay, it's on in the chat between Adam and Darwin. Okay, all right. Great shape for games in Chicagoland, Pittsburgh. Has Mike Connors come in with the taunt from Tampa? Wind chill of minus 16 in North Iowa. Yikes. Okay. Stan, how can you not have a game on a Friday night? What's going on? Yes, we're waiting for the Mike Connors taunt. Martin Tim, yes, we are super excited. Okay, playoffs start this weekend. Excellent. Bryson McKee jumping in from Kentucky. Good to see you. Good to see you. Paulphilia is in the house. Excellent. What's the temp going on in the Rockies? My beloved Warriors flew out of Denver. Tails between their legs. Back to 500. What a season. Jake Taylor is in the house. Aaron Wall, 17 degrees. Sounds pretty warm relative to what we have in the chat. Harry's in Atlanta. Good to see you. Chris Cottard. Good to see you, Chris. Jason Hayes jumping in from Washington, Missouri. Al Kennedy, good to see you, Al. Awesome. Billy Mack from that small little corner of Connecticut. Harry, that's the number one thing you can do, right? You just watch just one game, right? You have a significant other, a friend, put it on your phone, come watch my game, get the big picture view, keep me in the picture the whole time, make it contiguous, right? And you look at it and you say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize when I call traveling, I bend forward. I can fix that. I can stand up straight, right? There's lots of low-hanging fruit just watching a single game, right? And we're not looking for call correct, call incorrect. We're looking for all of the other things. Was I in the right position? Did I display the hustle necessary? And that's what we'll look at today when we look at plays. Daniel Last jumping in. Yes. I'm feeling pretty good today. You know what else I'm feeling good about? I'm feeling good about the addition of, I've added the plant, and it's got this little flare of the light right here. I love that. I wish I could get that on the basketball on the other side. I'm looking for a lighting thing over there. You see, because I'm kind of a nerd. Terrell Wise is in the house. Good to see you. Patrick, are you alive? I see a graphic of a wind chill at a spot in New Hampshire of negative 100. I was concerned about you the moment I saw that. Aaron Bender, we got a play from Wisconsin. Of course we have that play. You know that one, the one everybody's seen where the announcer tells everybody to shut up. We've got that play. Adam has a question. Oh, that reminds me. Did I do my default YouTube series button? Did it work? Don't know. Adam C. B1 inbounds to B2 on the end line following a scored goal. B2 passes the ball back to B1. Oh, I guess B1 had come inbounds. B2 passes the ball back towards B1. A1 tips the pass, and the ball is headed out of bounds when it hits the Team A head coach's back, who has both feet on the court. Does that cause the ball to become dead? I had that play where on a court where the coach could not stand very far out of bounds. Like there was, this much space between the players' feet. Contacted the coach. They were fully in bounds. The ball had not become dead by contacting the coach on the court. It's going to be a judgment call. If they had room where they should not be on the court, is it possible today we will have a coach on the court technical? Is that possible? Is Adam C. predicting that? Maybe. It's got to be a judgment call. In that situation, you could certainly assess a tactical foul for the coach being out of their coaching box, interfering with live ball play. In my situation, at the end of a blowout game, the losing coach was on the court. They literally, almost had an excuse, just like we have a situation where a thrower is adjacent to the bench and the line, the out of bounds, the boundary line is ignored because they need space. It was sort of my situation there. Climate change, yes. Global warming, climate change, right? Jason, good to see you on the live stream. We're just sort of yammering on here. We'll get started in just a bit. I want to check in and make sure everybody's alive in their parts of the world with the temperatures going on. I don't know what exactly that means. I'm sure Chicago officials do. G-Man is in the house. Alexandria, Louisiana. That is a lovely sounding name. Alexandria, Louisiana. Could be a person. Tom Dart in the house. Good to see you, Tom. Wind chill -40. So are games going off tonight, Patrick? Let me know. Al Kennedy, no changes. Yeah. Cancellations due to health are certainly still on the table. Oh, Harry, that is excellent. That is excellent because you get to observe, right? And so what you can find in those observations of officials is who are the officials who jump off to you? It's like, I want to do that. And just steal anything you can, right? About body position, demeanor, communication skills, how they handle themselves on the court, and obviously the fundamentals of positioning and call quality, etc., etc. So the fact that you have access to those officials, that's tremendous. Did I miss a play scenario? Oh, yes. Certainly, a player could violate with 0.5 or less with 0.5 on the clock. All right, the Zooch is here, right? That's often the key to when we can get started. Chris Janish, supplier of all the clips, tremendous video quality. So Chris tells me that rather than NFHS Network, right, he contacts coaches. They send him a link, game video through Huddle, right? We can download that game video, the Huddle links. This is a great way to get your video is to contact coaches directly, get that link. They create it, they send it to you. You have to download it. It's usually a couple of gigabytes, and then break down the video from there. That is my preferred method as well, to get game video when it's not in an NFHS Network situation. I'm with you, Aaron. I'm with you. Go Bucks. Jared's got a doubleheader of girls tonight. Oktoberfest from Jacksonville. Good to see you. Joe from Humboldt. Awesome. Hey, that's what we'll have here in the Bay. Well, we don't have sunny, I guess. It was raining when I woke up this morning. I'd been told there's going to be rain this weekend, but I hadn't really picked up on that. Marcus from Germany. Whoa, what time is it in Germany? Holy Toledo. Good to see you, Marcus. Jonathan, awesome. Awesome. We are here with the tech team, making it happen. Thomas Platabors, platter spinner, Thomas. Mike, I don't really share that sentiment. And that was not, that's not our focus when we look at that play. Oftentimes there is a statement read by, the announcer prior to the game about sportsmanship and expectations. Of course, my preference is as professional as possible. Yeah, that's why you have to make a judgment about the play, right? Was the coach on the court in a fashion that was something that needs to be penalized? Was it inadvertent, where just like it hits an official if it hit an official in that situation, we obviously have instruction. I think I saw a thumbs down coming in. Awesome. Well, if you have a chance right now, take a moment, hit the like button. That can amplify the live stream. 15-point game late in the fourth. Yeah, that's exactly how I handled it. All right, the negative thumbs down coming in. Awesome. I think YouTube says, hey, it's all about engagement. Oscar, appreciate you. You can always hit the thumbs down button twice. Yeah, it's great, Al, when your association uses Huddle and everybody has access to all the games, right? That's the ideal for high school officials. If we know we have access to all the games, that is just so valuable, so valuable. Good to hear they're still on, Patrick. Awesome. Yeah, Perry Mason. I will tell you a brief story. So Perry Mason was set in San Francisco, and the introduction to the show was it showed a building in San Francisco that was like Perry Mason's office or headquarters or what have you. And I'm very familiar with downtown San Francisco, and that building I don't think is there anymore. And I've never had a chance to revisit the show and see exactly what the building looked like and try to identify where it was. So that's my, the one that got away. Again, I'm a nerd. All right. Y Sports Podcast is in the house. I believe that's Atlanta as well. Greg Handy from Fairbanks. Snowy. Yeah. Indeed. Pete Orozco bringing in gang signs. I don't know what that means. 4:20 in the afternoon in Germany. Awesome. Jacob says, when we want to change initial ruling on a play, must it go to inadvertent, or will a charge in restricted become a block or inadvertent? You know what? That's what I meant. Mike. I meant Ironsides. I'm getting my Raymond Burr action confused. Ironsides, San Francisco, building. And I haven't seen Ironsides in forever. Is it like on and replay? I don't know. Excellent. David, good to see you from St. Louis. The Missouri contingent is strong. It's strong with Zooch, Jason Hayes. Excellent. Pete says weather in New Jersey, 35. That's livable compared to some. Streets of San Francisco was awesome. So a lot of the car scenes, the chases and stuff that they did like in a remote part of the port of San Francisco, sort of a derelict section that's super flat and super big. It's used for police training activity and stuff. So I've been able to break down some of that, but the streets of San Francisco was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. A favorite. Mike, I don't know what that means. Is that an actress who was on the show or something? I don't know. All right. Okay. All right. We are ready to go. Whew, let's get started. Again, I love that little flare. Right there. Wait a minute. Something's missing. My little twinkle lights. Come on now. My tech team letting me down. Okay. Excellent. Well, hopefully we have it edited and up by the time you get to Chicago, and I hope you have a safe flight, right? No drama. Of course, the ultimate bullet, filmed predominantly on Nob Hill, the backside of Nob Hill. Those cars, they're just like phenomenal car chase scenes in Bullet. Some of it was also done down in Daly City when ultimately the bad guys in their black supercharged vehicle get their demise. Very familiar with those. We do have a bobblehead. Stephen Curry in his youth. I'm a fan. That is a very common sentiment. Awesome. He is running out of gas on this road trip. Anyway, we are done with all of that. We are late into the season, right? Playoff adjacent, end of game situations, bench decorum, all of the things. We're looking at it today. Let's get started. How many plays are we going to look at? We're going to look at 5. Stick around. Greetings. Welcome back to 5 Play Friday, the show where we look at all of the things so we can get better. Let's get started right away. A You Make the Call play. A lot of things going on here. A lot of confusion for coaches on plays like this. Let's take a look at play number 1. All right, the ball clearly off of the backboard, contacted by a defender. Is this a legal play by rule? Is this a legal play by rule? Is this goaltending? Is this basket interference? Is the no call correct? Was there illegal contact on the play? What is your ruling on this play? Put your ruling in the comments below and stick around to the end of the video because you know we're going to break down all of the things later on in the video. And with that, let's move on directly to play number 2.
Sierra Canyon been averaging 70 points a game this season. Here's Bronny. Bronny on a breakaway. Oh, through the legs. Throws it down.
All right, a spectacular dunk. Bench decorum becomes in question, but thank you, first of all, for joining us today for 5 Play Friday. I'm Greg Austin with A Better Official. We try to craft video to help basketball officials get better so they can take control of their officiating career. So on this play, right, we have a spectacular dunk by a player who is destined to play in the NBA, maybe has a very famous father, right? It's a celebratory moment. It's spectacular. The gym goes crazy, etc. But it becomes a question of bench decorum and what is acceptable on this play. Do we want to be the party poopers and say, hey, oh, we're going to penalize some action here in a game that's clearly decided, 25-point margin? Do we, is the losing team going to respond negatively to this situation? But is this acceptable behavior by the bench? If we notice the bench explodes with energy, the players are celebrating. It's super exciting. It's fantastic. We love it in our game. But we have action by an adult on the bench of running along. Is he the hype man, right? Running along the end line. And we see that his behavior causes team members to follow him on the end line as well. Like, that's okay. Right? To me, this is not okay, and it needs to be addressed. At a minimum, it needs to be addressed. This is unacceptable behavior. It comes at a moment in the game that is celebratory, and we love celebratory plays. We love spectacular dunks, and this is obviously very high on the ranking of spectacular dunks. Between the legs, throw it down. It's a moment of celebration in the gym. But to me, this is unacceptable behavior by an adult, and it's easy in this situation for us to simply assess a bench technical. We can go on the team, right, for the action of multiple team member or bench personnel, or we can simply go at the adult and put it on them. In either case, there would be an indirect on the head coach. They would lose their privilege to stand and coach their team. But in this situation, I definitely feel it needs to be addressed, and the proper way to address it would be with a technical foul. That's just me. I think that the bench decorum is important. We will see other plays today that potentially comes into play. But we need to be aware of these situations. Again, the pressure of the celebratory moment is upon us. But to me, a technical foul on that adult would be the appropriate ruling on this play. That's just me because I'm a party pooper. We love the celebratory moment, and this is a really exceptional dunk. Jared, would you put it to me? I'd say let's find that adult and put it on them, because they are the instigator of the behavior that leads to, right? If you notice on this play, and this is pretty awesome. We've got a situation where a team member is holding back adults. Right? This guy's coming onto the court, and the kid pulls him back. This is not how the equation is supposed to work. I found that humorous. Yeah, I don't know that this is going to send our game into the toilet, Joe. The game is decided, but we open the door for, because, all right, we have a blowout game, right? What's our thinking as a crew? Do not miss anything by White. Look for any sort of taunting by the team, that's something that rises to the level of taunting by the team that's leading. And we're looking for frustration from the team that's trailing. Is anybody, not playing basketball anymore? And this is sort of a grudge match situation. So, it leads into that. Kelly's with me, bench tech. Billy's going team warning. That's an option. Brian's going with the T. Right, and we get, we do become the party pooper in this situation, and ending the celebratory moment. You get that in situations where players do pull-ups on the, let's say in this situation, the player comes in, dunks, does a pull-up, and we assess a T, and everybody's like, oh, come on, ref, let him play, and what have you. Yeah, now we're talking, Tony. Now we're talking. You are speaking to my youth. In FIBA, automatic T. I like it. I think it's an automatic T at this level as well. By on the coach, Aaron, I assume you mean the adult who, he's sort of like the Pied Piper here. He runs on the end line and then like the two team members sort of follow him out. All right. Tremendous. I don't know. Billy is on a jag, man. Everything he's really tickling me funny bone. All right. We like it. We have a lot of agreement. Come on, man. Everybody's like detailing the chronicle of my life. We start with Ironsides, of course, Car 54 we've referred to, but we've got Streets of San Francisco. We've got Hogan's Heroes. Michael Hogue has entered the chat. Debbie Downer. Awesome. Okay. I got to remember where I am. Play 2. I'm ready for play 3. All right, from a bench decorum play, now we've got something we don't see every day, and we have a ruling. Let's look at play number 3. All right, throw-in situation. Center official rules a violation on this play. The ball contacts the padding at the base of the backboard, bounces straight down. Our center official makes the ruling of some sort of violation. Right there, we're sort of at a loss for signals about how we would rule this violation. Is this the correct adjudication of this play? That's question number 1. And if you had something different, let's say as the trail official, and you wanted to fix this situation, what would be the variables involved in that discussion? Right? So we have a situation on the play where the ball is inbounded. It contacts the bottom. Player goes up. Clearly arm contact, release. Then comes the whistle from the center official ruling the violation. Did the official's whistle cause the ball to become dead in this situation? These are all the things. I'm a little unsure about this play scenario, right? So the ball, when a ball contacts the back of the backboard, it is out of bounds by rule. If it contacts the bottom of the backboard, it is inbounds. Obviously, the sides of the backboard, the top of the backboard, and the front of the backboard are all in bounds. To me, this is an erroneous ruling on this play. You could fight for some logic about the edge, hitting the edge, which is part of the back, but I don't think that's the spirit and intent of the rule. So we've got an incorrect ruling. Is this fixable, though? If one of the partners comes in and says, that's a legal play, which I'd be inclined to do here, what then happens regarding the try for goal and the possible foul? I don't even know how we would adjudicate that play if we came in with that information. So that's what's so intriguing about this play to me. I think in the end, if we're going to fix it, we've got to say, I don't even know. I don't know if we can go back in time here. An easy solution would be to say that we're just going to go back to the throw-in spot, inadvertent whistle. I'll tell you what. What would you do? How do you think we could get our way out of this situation? Put your ruling in the comments below. How you would, if you came in with information, how you would extricate yourself from that situation. What are we going to rule on this play? The whistle came after the release of the try and the arm contact. Would the goal count? Would we have a foul after the fact? How would we adjudicate this play? I do not even know. To be honest with you, I do not even know. That goes there. That goes there. What do we have? How could you fix this? Let's crowdsource this answer. Well, the carom, the fact that it goes straight down would say that it did not hit the back. Obviously, if this throw hit the back, it would have bounced up. It did not hit the pole, that's for sure. But we see this, to me, the reason a lot of officials put whistles on plays like this is there's an interruption in the path of the ball, and that creates a reaction at times. I'd be interested to hear from Chris how we got out of this situation and what the thinking was. And of course, if it had hit the flange, it would be legal as well. Okay, so Dakota Ted is going with the edge philosophy, that the bottom portion of the padding contains an edge, and that edge is part of the back of the backboard. I could make a case that the padding itself is the padding an extension of the backboard? Because in this situation, the ball does not contact the backboard per se. Is there any rule support for contacting the edge and the edge being determined to be the back? Darwin, if no foul was ruled on the play, right? no foul was ruled on the play. Can we go back? Let's say I'm the trail and I come in and I say, partner, that's not an illegal, contacting of the backboard, right? Do we then score the? Tough. It's correctable. Tony, how would you correct it in FIBA? How would you correct this? Would you score the goal? Would you rule a foul after the fact? Would you just score the goal in the absence of a foul since no foul was ruled? Well, so in either event, right? If you are the lead or the trail, and your partner puts this ruling on the play, you could say, the ball is dead, and we can provide information. Hey, here's what I had on the. Is this a possible misapplication of the rule, or is this it contacted the back edge of the bottom, and therefore I'm making that ruling? Whew. Harry, do we, right? So the question here is, do we have the ability to make that ruling after the fact, right? We do not have a whistle for the contact on the arm. I'm assuming, right? Our trail official does not put a whistle on this play. Do we, after the fact, have the ability to reconstruct the situation and say, since there was no violation and since the whistle came after the release of the try, which is kind of critical here as well, but the whistle was for something that occurred prior to the release of the try. It's murky to me. Yes. I agree with you, Mike. I agree with you. Okay, that's got to be a FIBA restriction. In NFHS, the whistle rarely causes the ball to become dead. It's a reflection of something that happened previously that caused the ball to become dead. Yeah, nobody's going to question, right, a ruling on this. Yep, we've made a mistake, right? And as the calling official, we can also sort of like allow a moment in this situation to, if we recognize our mistake, right, sort of a way to get out of it would be to go to our partner, like, oh, partner, you have some information about the play, even if they don't. And a lot of head bobbing and what have you, and come out with an inadvertent whistle. So, I mean, what my takeaway from plays like this is it's often a throw in that hits the bottom and moves and goes out onto the court in a backcourt to front court situation, and a trail official will put a whistle because of the interrupting action of the contacting of the board. But to me, the exciting part of this play is, do we have the opportunity to score that goal if we're going to fix this situation? I do not even know the answer. I don't even know. Ted's got a case play that says the padding is to be considered. Yeah, that obviously logically that makes sense. Dylan, that's very logical. Is that a violation by rule? That becomes a question. Well, so Paul, if we have a situation where we have two officials, a ruling has been made about the play. Information is provided that may suggest that is a misapplication of the rule, but the calling official would need to recognize that and change their ruling. We could have a situation where there is a disagreement about a ruling and the R on the game makes a final determination. I think we have that leeway. Michael Fixon likes the call. Yeah. Chris says, no problem if information is provided, giving us a chance to fix. Mike says we cannot score the goal. Mike, why can we not score the goal? The whistle came after. Yeah, it's a trap. I'm like stuck. I'm stuck in possible ways to after the fact rule a foul and score the goal. Yep, it's a play that stymies me, right? And it's great to find these situations because again, right, we take our application of play scenarios. Again, what we like to do is think, okay, this occurs in this game. Maybe it's in the middle of the second period. It's not a big deal. But what if this play, occurs in an end of game situation with 2.5 seconds remaining and the score tied? How are we going to adjudicate the play, right? The what appears to be clearly an erroneous ruling here, opening the window for, but what about the release of the try and the illegal contact that occurred? Really a stymieing situation. I don't have the answer. If you do, put it in the comments below. Is there any way to score this goal by rule in our adjudication of this play? Wow. Well, with that, let's move on to another fine kettle of fish. Let's look at play number 4.
44%. But they took away what had been Virginia's advantage, making a few key threes. 6 of their own to Virginia's 7 now. And equalizing that has made a difference.
All right, lots going on this play. We've got multiple fouls. We've got players who are flailing, throwing their heads back, trying to fool the ref. Obviously, 2 players who do not like each other. And we've got habits and fundamentals by the calling official. This play is rich with all of the things. How are we going to adjudicate this play by rule? What can we take away from the calling official in this instance? This is obviously a collegiate game. They have the opportunity to go to the monitor to resolve this. We would not have this in our game at the high school level, the ability to do that. We have to make a ruling on the play, on its merits. Let's take a look at, as we like to say, all of the things, right? We've got screening action. We've got a player on the floor who grabs the screener's leg. We have a retaliatory action by the screener, a kick. How are we going to adjudicate those fouls in this situation? And what are the behaviors of the players? What are the habits and fundamentals of the calling official, which are really, really exemplary in this situation, right? We've got the explosion that occurs in front of them, and then the ball is going away, right? would we go with the ball, or are we going to stay with the action that this situation is providing? Our calling official stays with that action and sees the kick. I'm sure they had a perception of, I don't know, would they have a perception of the holding the two legs together? Would the center official be able to come in and provide information in this situation? If we have one action, what's the ruling on the player who grabs the leg with their legs? What kind of foul is that? Is that a common foul, intentional foul, flagrant foul, right? The resulting retaliatory action, is that a common foul, an intentional foul, or a flagrant foul, or something more, right? So, great stuff on this play. Here's what I have on this play. First of all, right, if we look at the screening action, is there anything about this screen that is illegal? No. This is a legal screen. We have a player who sees the screen, runs into the screen, and then throws her head back. Was the throw of the head back related to the contact? No. The screener then throws her head back. Was the throw of her head related to the contact? No. We've got two players who are attempting to fool the ref in this situation. Our player on the ground grabs the leg, right? That is a foul. What kind of foul is it? The retaliatory kick. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. What kind of foul is that? How can we piece this together as a crew? Okay, in my judgment, this grabbing of the player's foot by the legs is an intentional foul by rule. This action, the retaliatory action of kicking, is a flagrant foul for fighting by rule. It's flagrant. It's a fighting action. Fighting is described as forcibly kicking, elbowing, punching, etc. To me, it arises to that level. How would we adjudicate this play? This is going to be hard, man. To me, I'm going to come out of this. We have a foul that is a double foul. We have an intentional and we have a flagrant for fighting. That was the ruling in this situation. They had the chance to go to the monitor and look at all the things. If we came together with a crew and identified the action by the player on the floor and the subsequent kicking action, that would be our ruling. How would we come out of this play? One player would be disqualified by rule. There would be offset. We've got team control by white. White throw in nearest where the ball was on this play. Lots going on here. What a key takeaway is that when that energy rose on the court and the situation occurred on the floor, our official stayed with that and did not stay with the basketball, therefore allowing them to see the kick. Obviously, at other levels where monitors are available, the discipline of doing that is lessened because they can always go back and go to the monitor and they have that available to them, and we do not as high school officials. But a great play to learn from, and one that would hopefully we could put it together as a crew and get things right. Man, that's quite a play. Quite a play indeed. What do we have here? Ay, ay, ay. I've got a thing. Whew. Double technical, says Greg. Well, this is live ball action, Greg, so technical is off the table. Mike says all fine. I mean, she almost trips this player by holding her foot. That screen was extremely legal, but we noticed that these players. Oh, 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 oh. Hogue, technicals are off the table. Billy Mack, she got punched in the nose. That's what she. I don't think so. I don't think there was any contact to the face. Right, the head didn't come forward to the face, and the hands didn't rise up to the face level. We've got faking occurring on this. I mean, embellishment. They came out of the situation with an intentional foul by the player on the floor and a fighting foul and ejection. At the collegiate level, the player is ejected to the locker room on this play. That was the ruling. It doesn't say how they resumed. We have two fouls that occur during the live ball period, and fouls of equal gravity in collegiate women would say that these offset, even though there's a difference between intentional and flagrant, and it would resume at the point of interruption. The play, the clip did not have that resumption of play. I think that's the correct interpretation. I think that's correct. Jonathan says a foul on 4 here, right? But did she displace her? Not really. It's not like she blew up the screen. I mean, there was contact, and we've got embellishment by the screener. I think the official has a great look at the play. To me, that's not a foul on red for pushing through the screen. The displacement was insignificant, I think, relative to the play. Huh. Okay, so Scott says, saw this on YouTube. They booted White 33, and I did disagree. The kicking action is a fighting action and a flagrant action. The kicking action has to be disqualifying, right? It's a disqualifying foul. NCAA women, fighting is also disqualifying, and that was the ruling. I think I agree with that 100%. You know, of course, the thing that at the NCAA level is all they have to do is rule on one foul. They can go to the monitor and find the others. Let's see if there's any indication of a double foul. I don't think so. I think he was sending the teams to the benches, right? I think that's what the signal is, the point in both directions simultaneously. Well, Randy, the key thing is they did a great job by seeing it, by seeing the kick, right? You could imagine this situation occurs in your game and a play blows up, and then this ball handler comes past you, and, we're just so inclined to be aware of what's going on with the ball. Again, Aaron, it's live ball. Their technical foul is off the table. Mike says kicking is a flagrant personal foul. Is it fighting is our adjudication fighting, right? Which is and we need to make this ruling on the court. Is this just a flagrant or is this fighting? Because it's going to carry forward. Many didn't see the kick, and of course that's key. Well, I don't know what the time frame is of the comments. On first viewing, we may not see that. James says screener is borderline wide. Where's the contact? It's in the torso. It wasn't leg contact. That's all I'll say about that. I know there's disagreements about, well, the fact that the screener has their feet wide, even though there's torso contact, nothing related to the feet, that the screener is therefore illegal. That would not be the interpretation at the NCAA women's level. Some would say it shouldn't be the interpretation at the high school level. That would be, yeah, Jeff, because they are fooling the ref on this play. Both of the players throwing their heads back and trying to fool the ref. Well, if we ruled that the play became dead on the intentional foul, then the kick would be a technical foul. We did not have a whistle until the kick. All right, the engagement is elite on this play. As an NCAA play, I hope it gets past YouTube copyright infringement. I've put it here as play number 4 because I've made some modifications. I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll see. The illegal contact by holding the player's leg with their feet is definitely an intentional foul here. I would say that would be expected. I mean, because, Mike, about whether we have to note whether it's fighting. Do we have to note whether it's fighting? That would be our obligation. Are we, is this a flagrant foul, or is this a flagrant foul for fighting, as your state, association, league, etc. may have different penalties in that situation? That's all I'm saying that we need to do on this play. Well, Tony, I think it's awesome too. It's great to look at plays. I appreciate you joining. I appreciate everybody joining in the chat today. It is lit up. It must be all those likes amplified the live stream. Can you imagine, Billy? Can you imagine? When things happen to players on the court, I always think, what if that happened to me? A player gets their legs taken out and falls on their backside, and I'm thinking, if that happened to me, it would all be over. Mike, I think they're, depending on leagues, and that there is a difference. That if you are ejected for a flagrant foul, there is potentially one penalty, and if you are ejected for fighting, there's potentially another penalty. And of the accrual of events, like that's always been my assumption. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. It's the first time for... Well, that's sort of a question Harry asks is, well, wait a minute. One act led to a fighting act. Does the first act then therefore rise to the level of fighting as a result? Oh, okay. All right. Glad we had some common ground there. Whew. All right, that was a great play scenario. We see the events unfold. The key takeaway for me is that the calling official saw the subsequent action, saw the kick, was not, stayed with that action on the floor, which is super critical that we do in that situation. This is a situation we're potentially going to need to come together as a crew and piece together what has occurred on this play using information from all of the officials, come up with a ruling, go present that ruling, and then move forward with the game. But a great play scenario to look at. Let's look at play number 5. I'm going to go back. Hold on one second. Not muted. Hold on one second. I had something change. I'm going to fix that. And then we will go to all right, it's that play from Wisconsin. You know that one where the announcer famously berated the crowd for getting into or having negative comments after a call, no call at the end of the game. While as basketball officials, we appreciate a chance to retaliate against the negative energy we perceive. To me, that's not what this play is all about. To me, I want to say, how are we going to adjudicate this play? To me, this is an end of game scenario that we have to get right? And it's critical that we do. So we are looking at all of the things on this play. The questions we ask, did this foul occur before the horn? Was this a 2-point or a 3-point goal by rule? Can we come together and adjudicate the play? We have an assistant coach who comes to the spot of the foul. Does that rise to the level of a technical foul? In addition, we have bench personnel from both teams come onto the court. Does that rise to the level of a technical foul in this situation? End of game situation, the horn sounds. Some would think the game is over, come onto the court, etc. So let's look at all of the things. First of all, I apologize on the live stream for the absence of sound. Sound is critical to this play. I'm going to be able to fix it in post, but I apologize. So what we have is a situation where throw-in is deemed to be not touched, right? 7.7. Our home team is down by 1. Player drives, kicks, last second try, obvious foul. Center rules a foul. Did the foul occur before the horn? Then we have an assistant coach who comes on. Are they there because of disagreement about the call? Are they arguing that, or did they just come on? It's unclear from here. We've got other team members come onto the bench personnel come off onto the floor. Let's look at all of the things. The ruling here is that it was not touched. The official keeps their hand up. That's all well and good. We cannot see from the angle that we have. Player drives to the basket. Do I like the lead's positioning on this play? No. No, I do not. I wish they were wider. They have to anticipate that secondary defender here, right here. We are looking in the well, as I like to say. We've got the ball kicked out. At this point, there is 0.2 remaining. Foul occurs. It's ruled to have occurred prior to the horn. Center official has that. Was this a 2 or a 3? Does the center official know? The resulting action by our assistant coach, directed to leave the floor. What do we have on this play scenario? So the ruling in the game was that the player was fouled. They put 0.2 back on the clock. Are we authorized to put time back on the clock in this situation? That's another critical component of this play. They assessed a bench technical foul on the assistant coach for coming onto the floor. That makes me assume, I'm making an assumption that they had comments when they came onto the floor that made that rise. Otherwise, would we not assess technical fouls for to the benches for additional bench personnel coming on? They awarded 2 free throws for the shooting foul, not 3. Let's look at that. They awarded 2 technical foul free throws with 0.2 on the clock and the lane cleared. All 4 free throws were missed, and on the resulting throw-in, the game ended. So, quite a scenario. Let's take a look. Is this a 2 or a 3 by rule? This player has 1 foot in the 2 foot in the 2-point area. They then lift that foot and jump off 1 foot. When did the foul occur? That becomes a question. Great play scenario. Love it. Love it. That's why this scenario itself is more rich to me than the satisfaction of a crowd, an unruly crowd, getting their comeuppance with a exhortation that they must shut up, you want to officiate, etc. Right? Obviously, that feels good at some level, but to me, the play scenario is much more important. Does the subsequent contact after the arm contact rise to the level of intentional on this play? It's crazy. Crazy. I had something similar in one of my games recently where it's like, the team, why are you fouling in that fashion? Why are you risking it? But in the end, that is what was ruled on the play. A shooting foul, 2-point attempt, technical foul for the assistant coach. A great play to look at, one that we would want to get right. There is absolutely no rules justification in this situation for putting time back on the clock. Our foul definitely occurred so close to the horn that the timer could not stop the clock in time. Many officials will insist that time must be put on the clock in this situation because the foul occurred before the horn. Therefore, there must be time. NFHS rules would suggest that is an incorrect ruling. But in these end-of-game situations, we want to get plays right. We're going to need to work together as a crew to come up with an adjudication on a play such as this. And as the season comes to a close and the playoffs get closer, we're going to have to potentially make decisions like this in really critical moments of games. That's why it's great to see plays on video so we can get sharpen our saw and be prepared for all of the things in these situations. Quite a scenario indeed. I am, of course, going to be way behind in That's referring to the fighting. Yes, Adam, I apologize. I don't know why it's not working. I'm going to have to fix it in post. It's frustrating. I just don't know why. I'm not muted. Greg says this is not why we would need video review. It would help. Unfortunately, for that playoff game you've got coming up, you will not have it. Mike says step out of bounds on the baseline. Would the official be able to see that from their position? No, they would not. I did not think that was a possible scenario, but if you are a frequent viewer of this show, you know that I do not enjoy this position as a lead official on this play. For a sideline throw-in such as this, we want our official wide to begin with. You need to have a wide-angle view on this play. Might have prevented everything. Dave Craig is thinking about an intentional foul for the displacement. Yeah, our lead official recognizes the situation right away and directs players to their benches. That is above me. Tom says Wisconsin basketball officials indicated the officials had everything correct on this play. So the adjudication of a shooting foul, not an intentional foul, the assessment of a technical foul on the assistant coach. When the horn sounds at the end of the game, things can happen. Everybody can come onto the court thinking the game is over. Fans can potentially come onto the court in this situation as well. How are we going to adjudicate that? Apparently, the actions of the assistant coach were in a disagreement, some sort of disagreement fashion, or unsporting. Ted, what I would say is, so let's go to our key moment here. There's point 2. There's point 1. I think we definitely have contact here. Definitely have contact here. So is this a 2 or a 3, and what causes that determination to be made? If the foul occurs and the player is within the 3-point, and then they subsequently step and release from beyond the 3-point, would this not be a 3-point shooting foul? Wow. Definitely a foul at point 1. Center, I thought he had great demeanor, right? But you could say, do we need more forceful demeanor to emphasize the fact and potentially prevent people from coming on? Don't know what that refers to. Jason Mays, you could make that a key takeaway of this in this play scenario. There's absolutely no many officials. I don't know if it's an IAABO thing. I don't know what it is. Many officials think this is where you are supposed to officiate as lead in this scenario. You see it constantly. The officials officiating from a closed down position. The play then ends up right in front of you. When the play's in front of you, can you see what happens up here? Can you see what happens down here? No. You have no perspective. And we'll have a great play scenario. I think that's a 3-point try. We'll have a great play scenario later where we also have a player passing the ball who's potentially out of bounds. Okay. Absolutely, you could put time on if you have definitive knowledge. But, Mike, many officials say, I do have definitive knowledge. The foul occurred before the horn, therefore there must be time on the clock. That's my definitive knowledge. NFHS says your definitive knowledge means you have to know what the number is because you observed the number, or you have a circumstance where a clock failed to run and you had visible counts that created a number that could be subtracted from the time. Umar's in the house. Good to see you. I don't think Mike Connors would be saying that. Yeah, let's look at that just for clarification. The white line is going to be out of bounds. Wait. I sure hope our white line is going to be out of bounds. Oh, I cannot tell. I cannot tell that he is out of bounds, but I know that our official cannot see that from his head angle. That'd be a takeaway. Right foot across the line. Oh, that's terrible that they have that white line. The black line is the out of bounds. To have a white line there, that's terrible. Who needs it? I cannot tell, but I know that it's unobserved. That's the bottom line. So Rick says he saw a play similar to this the other night, and both benches cleared, in the exception of one player, right? So this is not a fight situation. Well, I wouldn't deem it to be potentially a fight situation. Play. This is a time of the game where the horn sounds and teams come onto the court celebrating, right? We see it all the time. So to me, players leaving the bench in this situation does not rise to the level of a technical foul, right? There's confusion that there's, potentially the horn has sounded, right? If we saw fans come onto the court here, would we be surprised? Well, we would, given the population in the stands, but in other situations, no. We win! This is not a backcourt violation. NFHS, we have to have player control on the court, establishing team control, front court status, then backcourt status. Throwing the ball into the backcourt is not a violation. That is definitely true. There was dramatic action. And that's a key component of the play, is the arm contact occurs prior to the body contact. Oh, gosh. Larry asks, if the foul occurs before the buzzer, but the shot is released after the buzzer and goes in, do we score the goal? The answer would be no. We would penalize the foul and not the goal. Zuch has 3-point shooting foul. Whoa. How come when I said Zuch, it went Dylan? Tony, is that a FIBA thing? Do you have, if you have a player, jump off one foot with their right foot inside and then jump off their left, when they leave the floor on the try, they are exclusively within the 3-point area. That would be a 3-point goal by rule. The front foot starts but is lifted prior to the release. But is it lifted prior to the foul? If we went to the monitor, if we went to the monitor on this play, how would it be adjudicated? Hey, it's close. Let's take a look. Definitely has a foot in within the 2-point area. When does the foul occur? If we say the foul occurs here, the foot has not been lifted. So the subsequent lifting of the foot, you could say it is not a 3-point attempt because the ball. That's tough. Tough. I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to make mistakes. Kevin, I agree with you 100%. Whoa, I'm going to have to go through. I'm going to have to move ahead. Jacob says the shooting motion starts with point 2. Can't this not be a shooting foul by case play? That would be for a throw-in situation, Jacob. I appreciate the layup if it is. The tech team is not involved in the judgment on plays. They are involved exclusively in creating tremendous animated layout things that come across the screen elegantly. Come on, that's elite. That's elite. They know their role. They know their role. I have got to move on. What about Dirk? What about Dirk? I mean, we've got Germany in the chat. Sorry. Was Okay, all right. That Dave, so that's great. He says the habitual shooting motion started with the right foot inside. There is no question their right foot was inside. If the player was started inbounds and then stepped out of bounds, right? Something in and nothing out, right? If something is in, when they leave the floor, let's say a player is running diagonally, right? They're running diagonally from the top of the, from like the 38-foot line towards the center official here, right? They're running diagonally. They in the air, grab the ball, take 1 foot inside the 3-point arc or on the line, and then jump further and land off on their left foot and throw the ball up. Is that a 2-point try or a 3-point try? Right? They have nothing in 2-point when they release the ball. Okay. All right. Well, that was play 5. We've got to move on. This is awesome. These are great play scenarios to analyze. I wish there was somebody smarter than me doing that. These are hard. There's a lot of variables. All right, at the start of the show, we had that play. You know that one. You made a ruling. You put it in the comments. Let's look back at play number 1. All right, player goes up. The ball clearly contacts the backboard. The defensive player contacts the ball. Is this goaltending? Basket interference? No call correct. Was there a subsequent foul on the play? Does the fact that the ball was contacted negate the contact on our airborne shooter? What was your ruling on this play? Let's look at all of the things. Wow. Okay, so first of all, right, we're in great position as a crew. Lead pulls up a little bit, but our center is in fantastic position, sees the whole play, right? The ruling is no call on the possible goaltending or basket interference. Hopefully, high school basketball coaches see this play and learn something, right? We are all fans of basketball. We watch basketball. We watch high school basketball, obviously, but we watch collegiate basketball. We watch NBA basketball. At the collegiate and NBA level, once the ball contacts the backboard, it is by rule considered to be on its downward flight. And so when the ball is contacted after contacting the backboard, it is goaltending by rule. Unfortunately, that does not exist at the high school level. That is not a thing. Contacting the backboard is not a factor at all in determining whether this is goaltending. Right? In order to have goaltending, we have to have a try, be on its downward flight, and have a chance to go in. Right? Is this ball, when it is contacted, on its downward flight? Let's look at that to start our analysis of the play. Right? The ball is released and then contacts the backboard and is immediately contacted. It is not on its downward flight. It does not carry with it the collegiate and NBA restriction that once it contacts, it is to be considered on its downward flight. It has to be judged on its merits. This is not a goaltending violation by rule. And since it was not over the basket in the cylinder, the imaginary cylinder with the ring as its base, it's not basket interference. This is not a violation by the defensive player in this instance. Now, let's look at the contact on our airborne shooter. Does that contact displace the shooter, cause them to go to the floor? Oftentimes in this situation, let's take a look. And if the player did go to the floor, who would have the primary responsibility for a whistle on that play? Our lead official is making a judgment about that contact. That is their call. The player is contacted. The displacement causes them to move, and they land on 2 feet and then go to the floor. No call is the ruling. Would you put a whistle on a play like this? You would certainly have merit, right? This is an airborne shooter, must be allowed to land, etc. Does the contact displace them? Does it knock them off balance, etc.? There is obviously movement of the body related to the contact. Player lands on both feet and goes to the floor. A foul certainly could be ruled in this situation, but no call was the ruling on the play, right? The key takeaway, though, is on the goaltending portion and just understanding that the National Federation of High School Basketball rules at the high school level contacting the backboard has no bearing whatsoever. Whether the ball contacts the backboard has no bearing whatsoever on whether or not a goaltending violation shall be ruled. Different at other levels. If we understand that, we can move forward. All you coaches out there, this one's for you. This one's for you. I'm wondering if anybody's thinking basket interference on this play. Tony, we're looking at all of the things. All of the things. Oh, wait, I'm going to go here. Zooch, I'm with you on that last one. Billy sums it all up. I like spew out 1,000 words, and Billy just sums it up. Bob Marshall, Chili Bob is in the house. How's your season going, Bob? How come we have not worked a game together? Laker fan in the house. Yes, great block. Joel has a foul on the contact. Yeah, Tony, FIBA has all sorts of interesting basket interference rules. Yeah, so Kevin, our question becomes, right, are we applying that principle on this play? To me, the contact, it does move our airborne shooter. Doesn't knock them off balance, though. But they do go to the floor. Do they do it as part of their habitual action? Right, we see that in our game. Many players. I had number 11 for, who did I just have? Right, every time he went to the basket, he would fall to the floor. It's built into the way that they play basketball. They're attempting to influence, embellish, etc. They're not faking being fouled. They're just embellishing. So is this player one of those players? Scott's going goaltending and 1. Michael Hoag's playing on. Adam C., good block. Larry, yeah. Right, so Larry, the bottom line is we have to make a judgment whether the contact involved is incidental or illegal, right? Oftentimes, like when the ball is out, right? We have a player dribbling, the defensive player deflects the basketball, and it is directed 10 feet away, and then subsequently there is some contact on the ball handler that, if they were a dribbler, would have been ruled as illegal, but since they are no longer part of the play, is ruled to be incidental, right? So in a situation like this, that has to be our judgment. You could say, well, this is an airborne shooter, and there's going to be a lot more scrutiny, and I'd certainly respect that. If you say, no, we're going to rule a foul, this player was displaced, they were not allowed a safe landing, etc., that would be a judgment. Yeah, that has to be a judgment that we make as well. So Mike's saying that if the try is released within that square, does the ball therefore gain a position that is inside the imaginary, easy for me to say, inside the imaginary cylinder with the ring as its base? So there's two components here. One, was the ball contacted on its downward flight? 2, was it contacted while within that imaginary cylinder? I agree with Kevin. This was not in the cylinder. Dave has a foul on the for illegal contact on the shooter. That could also depend on your game, the way that There's a lot of variables. We could have, Bob, but would we have? Should we have? Right? This is early in the game. This is first period action, it looks like. 9-8 is the score. The great question. So Jared says, but the ball is above the rim and still has a chance to go in, so it's goaltending, right? There's a missing component, right? The ball, let's see. It is above the rim. It does have a chance to go in, but what is it not? It is not on its downward flight. In order to have goaltending, it has to be on its downward flight. You know, a try is released from 15 feet away from the basket. It rises up. The defender contacts the ball near the apex. Was it after it had reached its apex and was on its downward flight? That would be the determination about whether goaltending. So we're missing a key component there, Jared, on that. Well, we can obviously see and of course the center is concentrating up and not on the bodies, which we'd want the lead to have on this play. Dave's gonna come with a foul. Well, yeah, Todd has A to B. He's gonna rule a shooting foul. Tyler's gonna go in the same fashion. Let's see. You know, the other component of the... Yeah, he hit him pretty hard, too. If I was lead and just officiating my players, I'm likely having a foul here. But no call. Kamali's got a foul. Jared, there is no chance. I don't think there's none chance of that. You know, it's always interesting to think, oh, there's a much better rule that we could bring to high school. Yeah. Obviously, it does not say that in the rules book. Chris, you have a pregame? What? Oh. Try for goal, entirely above the ring, chance to go in, downward flight. Got to have all those components. Tom, you are correct. All right. Okay. Whew. I'm exhausted. I'm at 1:40, an hour and 47. Timeout. I called the foul just so that we could stop play. Dylan's not ignoring the contact. It'd certainly be justified in that. Yeah, so Chris, let me ask you this. You did not, you could have come with a foul on this play as center and yet did not. I'd ask sort of what was the thinking there. It's my partners. It's early. Doesn't rise to the level of something that we have to get to go out of our primary on that play. I'd be interested to hear. Well, it's obviously the way I've extended it. It's a full. No. I'm not falling into that trap. It's a 60-second timeout. The horror of saying full timeout. Oh. Unapproved language, for sure. Okay, all right. Yeah. All right. We love bonus play. Why stop? Let's go with a bonus play. Let's go. All right, an assessment of a technical foul on a head coach for being out of their box onto the court. Love to see it. Love to see it. At the high school level, of course, we have the opportunity to assess a warning in this situation. Presumably, we may have had warnings or addressing this situation earlier, but this is a situation that needs to be addressed. Coaches have very large coaching boxes, expanded from 14 feet to 28 feet, right? And we see in this situation, there's lots of room between the coach and the bench. There's really no excuse for being out on the court. It's something that needs to be addressed. It could be addressed more consistently at the high school level. It's a simple approach. We have, of course, our ladder, right? We can give a soft warning. Hey, coach, on that last play, I need you off the court, right? An informal warning. And then if something occurs in our game, we rise it to the level of stop play, assess a warning for bench decorum, an administrative action that's placed in the book. We make it theatrical. Everybody knows. Subsequently, you can't be on the court. You must be in your coaching box. And then if there was a subsequent action, as in this instance, where the coach is obviously out of their coaching box onto the court, a technical foul can be assessed. At the high school level, this would be a direct technical foul on the head coach, and they would lose their privilege to stand and coach their team. Bench decorum is something that's easy to address. We have lots of options available to us in our tool belt. This is a situation that rose to the level of a technical foul and something we can think about adding to our own game, making sure that we address bench decorum in this situation. In this situation, I like the way it's like he has to be restrained. Easy call, but it's one, Tony, that many officials will not make. They will not address this behavior. So that's why it's great to see it addressed in this case, with the most severe action of the direct technical foul. I like the way he looks down at his feet. But the necessity for people to come get the coach is almost embarrassing to me. I know there was a high school play where a coach shoved his player to get across the court. It was a female player, and it was sort of a shove that caused the player to lose their balance momentarily. So that was interesting. Yeah. Phil, well, it's easy. Wait a minute. Don't know why. Don't know why. Yes, was Calipari within the 3-point line or without here? Yes. Oh, he's on the line. It's only a 2. Only a 2. Awesome. Well, probably, Bob, at this level, you're thinking through all of the things, right? If I assess a technical foul here, right, this is, could potentially become a thing, etc. So there's a lot of processing going on, right? Like right here, he's aware, sees him out as peripheral, processing. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go with a technical foul. It wasn't It wasn't like a reaction whistle, which is great. Well, I'm sure we all have coaches. For whatever reason, it's really been an issue for me this year. It's just like coaches thinking that they could just walk to the table and coach their teams, come out onto the floor. I was just a couple of nights ago on Tuesday. It's an end of quarter situation. The defensive coach or the offensive coach who's going in the basket is away from his bench is outside his box 28 foot, and he's out on the court like 10 feet yelling instructions to his team. It's like, pisses me off. Did we address it? Yes, we did. Yeah, well, I guess that's a question, Hal. Is that not? Are we not getting backing if we are using all of our options related to a coach being out of their box? Are we not getting support from our assigners? I can't imagine an assigner saying, no, you should have talked to him in this situation, especially after you'd already warned him or something. I wouldn't think that we're going to get that. If that's the case, that would be ugh. Todd says a lot of leeway at the collegiate level. You could make that the if our calling official had come over and placed his foot on the 3-point line and pointed to it. That would be funny if the coaches started wearing a little thing with a handle in the back. Kevin says, gave this same tech on Tuesday after 2 soft warnings. Right? And, to me, we're certainly justified. We've led up to this situation, although the soft warning is discreet. But I support you in your choice, Kevin. Well, Dave, the key is, what does your assigner want from you? What do they want from you? And being aware of that. This is how we officiate this situation, right? And we have to, we can't, well, we can say, look, no, I am giving guidance. I have this almighty rules book, and this rules book overrides the wishes of my assigner, how they want things to be handled in certain situations. Right, so your assigner may say, look, if the uniform lettering doesn't have the outline of the border, that's a quarter of an inch or what have you, and so it's technically a violation, let's not assess a direct technical foul in this situation. I don't want that to happen, right? But we go out and say, no, rule three, I have to assess a direct technical on the head coach for that infraction of the uniforms, right? You know, it's a people business, and the people who are really important in this business are our assigners and those who make judgments about our assignments and how they want, because really it's a collaborative effort between the officials and their assigner, I think, about how we want the game called, how we want to handle situations. So I don't think we can disagree or disregard what our assigners want. I don't know what that means. All right. Okay. What am I doing? Let me do this. We do have another bonus play for live stream viewers. But that's not right. Let me do the show wrap up. I like to do it live. There's a lot of pressure. Hey, I appreciate you joining us today for 5 Play Friday. The request, if you would, doing all of the things, the liking and the subscribing, and get the notifies so you don't miss out on any of our live streams. We live stream every Wednesday and Friday during the basketball season. And as we like to do, allow me a moment to thank our tremendous show supporters who help fuel the broadcast. David Kaiser, Randy Wilson, Jeff Pappas, Chuck Ratliff, and Warren Layton. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? I will put a link down in the show notes, and you know I'm going to put one up above, as I always do. Tremendous. We've got additional... We've got it. Additional video content. It's available here. Make a choice. Choose that one. Choose that one. Make your ruling. Put it in the comments below. And have a great one. Take care, everybody. Well, that didn't quite work. But we like the pressure. We like the pressure. It's always something. That tech team. I blame them completely. Kelly says, I love it when an assigner tells you to call that a tech because it's a rule. Then next week, relationships with assigners are collaborative. We want assigners to have our back. We want to be responsible when it comes to our assigners, but we want our assigners to be responsible when it comes to us and our rulings on the court. If we adjudicate things by rule, we should always have the backing of assigners. If it's a gray area or something that the assigner has expressed specifically how we want these situations handled, right? Maybe it's a fudge on, some element of rules adjudication, then, we need to respect that, right? This is what they want. So I would say this about that. But how about a bonus play for live stream viewers? Let's take a look. It's good. It's a long one. All right, state championship game from Mississippi a couple years ago. I believe that our graphic on the clock is very accurate. Ball goes through, 3.3. Player 12 requesting a timeout. Center official recognizes the coach requesting a timeout. Subsequently, they put 3 seconds on. Length of the court. Clock doesn't start early. That's excellent. Player jumps. Were they on the floor when they released the throw? Is this a 3-point try for goal to win it, or just a 2? All of the things, right? Rule the 3, score the goal, right? To me, this is a great scenario, right? One that we want, of course, to be a state final, last second, right? We want all of our skills to prepare us for these moments so that we get plays right. This is a high-pressure situation, one that we need to anticipate what's going to happen, etc. What would we want in this situation to recognize, right? To me, that's what really the sort of the takeaway is on this play. This crew handled it as they did. They put time back on the clock. We don't see what's going on with the trail official here or the new lead after the scored goal. I have no qualms about the way this play was adjudicated in any way, shape, or form. What I would say is when I look at this, what would I want to do as the new trail after the scored goal? What would I want to do as the center official throughout both plays, etc.? And what habits and fundamentals would I want to display? We know that, first of all, we know that this is a tie game, right? We're looking for high certainty in our calls, but if blue scores here, what do we expect? What would we anticipate in that situation? Have we thought that through in advance? Or do we have habits and fundamentals that have us looking at the right things at the right time in this situation? And this is a high pressure situation. The gym explodes with energy on the made goal, etc. You know, it could take us off our game just a moment. So what do we have? Let's take a look. Our crew's in great shape. Player rises up. Trail has an open look. Our center is looking at the play as well. This is the game. The game is right here, right? Ball goes in. What does our lead look at? What does our center look at? Center appears to be looking here across the floor. We've got a player here requesting a timeout. Is our trail recognize that? Is our center looking for the expected timeout by the opponent? This is what, right? We'd want a head turn, right? The lead in this situation could take a glance down the court. The center should absolutely expect the timeout. If the lead is not, they should be aware of this player. We'd want all of those things. Play goes forward. Let's move ahead. The crew gets together. They come up with it. Let's see what the actual situation should have been. Ball goes through here. We're thinking about all of the things. Of course, we have ball at the disposal, behavior by players, etc. But if we're aware of the situation, is one team has just gone up. The white team needs to score. They need to do something. The coach is going to request a timeout almost always in this situation. We certainly want to be aware of that. That's a key takeaway, number one. It comes through with 3.3. There's no recognition. Then there is, right, with 0.5 on the clock, etc. The crew makes a determination. What information they use to do that, that's all well and good. Now, on the subsequent play, let's move ahead. right? Our center official in this situation, right? So these situations where we're going to go the length of the court for a last second shot are challenging, or they can be challenging. Where's our crew? Our trail has to be with the ball administering the throw in. Our lead in this situation would most likely be on the other end line, and our center is in the middle. Well, what are we looking for, right? As soon as this ball is released, our center, I think, has just got to be on their horse 100% to get into the front court, because that's where the game is going to be, right? Habits and fundamentals. Our lead is in great position. Will you please play? Oy, oy, oy. Great position. Does this player release the throw prior to contacting the floor? Oh, it's super close. If it's super close, we want high certainty in this situation. I think no call is the correct call. If this went to video review, maybe there's, but a human error here, definitely. But what we don't end up with is a look at the feet of our three-point shooter, right? And that's sort of like where I would be kicking myself, is I need to be in position to see that, right? We are straight lined. Obviously, this is going to determine, this is a game-deciding decision. Are they definitely behind? Are they definitely not? If I was trail in this situation, I want to be, once that ball was released, I'm busting again. I need to get to the front court, if only, right, to provide information about whether I saw a look at the toes in this situation, right? So super exciting, high pressure environment, crew makes decisions, etc. The game ends in dramatic fashion. Super exciting, but when I see plays like this, I'm looking at habits and fundamentals, and if I was in this situation, what would I want to do? What do I need to be in position to see? How can I contribute any information at all, etc.? But super exciting, and hopefully a situation that viewers of 5 Play Friday find themselves in that state final, in the final seconds of a super exciting game. Whew. Good times. Good times. Whew. Maybe, Greg, maybe. At the moment, I can't say. I'm sure I did, but I don't know where it is. Let's put it that way. Dave says he came down out of bounds before the pass. If we slow it down frame by frame, it's super close. I know for me in this situation, you have to have high certainty. It has to be 100%. If it's microscopic, I cannot put a whistle on that play. Cannot. Yeah, usually in these arena situations, the high school players will find the outer line. Yeah, Mike, but unlike our previous play, this official has great perspective on the play. Great perspective on the play. Also, if I'm the lead official on this play, I want to chop the contact on the ball to help our timer in this situation. Fortunately, that would be my reflex. Fortunately, the clock did not stop early here, right? So if we had the clock start, like let's say you're the center official here, you see the ball in flight, you look up, there's a clock, maybe it's just a shot clock above, but you become aware that the clock starts here, we would have to kill the play, resume with another end line throw in. White team would not be pleased, but we would have to do that if it had started early. That is super close. Super close. Let's take a look. Clock should start here. Ah, come on, man. Yeah, I think he was contacting, but again, high certainty is going to be required there. That's difficult, right? You're the calling official. You're seeing two things, right? You're seeing the ball being released and the foot contacting. You've got to have great perspective to do that, but it's difficult to make a really definitive decision in that instance, especially when the ball is being released a little bit towards you. Yeah, the fact that the C fails to mark and sort of half-heartedly says, oh, maybe, I'm not sure. Eve, not in National Federation of High School. You must be of the FIBA bent, and the fact that the clock stops in this situation after a scored goal in FIBA would come in handy in these situations, but in high school, we do not have that luxury. And Michael, we're respecting the fact that we can have a different rule set in question here. If this was a FIBA situation, we'd want to have an accurate reflection of when the ball passed through the goal and the amount of time remaining in that situation. Sometimes when the clock in a collegiate game, NBA game, etc., right, 3.6 would seem to be the number, maybe 3.7. But if it ran down, let's say, so the ball goes through, 3.7 should be the number, but it's the timer doesn't stop until 2.9. We would want to have that number and that availability to us. And obviously NCAA men's and women's different as well. There are many planets. But is FIBA a planet, or is it like Pluto? On a daily basis, are there more FIBA games or National Federation of High School Basketball games? I bet FIBA blows it out. Yeah, our center is in not great position, but I guess what my key takeaway is, how did we end up, right? We're just we're not anticipating what might happen next. Chris, a great sentiment. It's the time of year when it's us against the world, baby. It's us against the world. Zuch, our center gave a modest, half-hearted effort, right? As we see here. There's a subtle raise, not sure. Ball goes in, and we're scoring, right? So I like it. I love it. Actually, our new trail shows up, and so he would definitely have an opinion on this play. I hadn't noticed that before. He might have had the best angle, right? So if our center official is over here scoring it, and there's jubilation, etc., and you are that trail official and you saw the foot on the line, right? We are coming in hard, and we are going to say, we are pointing, I'm pointing at that spot. No, on the line, 2, right? But that was not the case, and there's no visual evidence that they made any sort of erroneous ruling here. All I can say is that where I would want to be on the court, and I appreciate the fact that the trail was busting hard to get into the play. You know, they're momentarily in jail until that throw is released. Yeah, there was a little attempt to throw the ball off the leg by our thrower here. Oh wait. The player who saved the ball. Again, desperation. Yeah, he's recoiling his leg. Yes, but it's implied. If your name is Eve, it's implied. It's FIBA. We're international here at 5 Play Friday, so you always have to respect that coming in. Appreciate you being here, Eve. All right, tremendous. Well, I have no additional bonus plays, so what are we going to do? We're going to wrap it up soon. Let's see. I'll go here. What do we got? I've got a high school game tonight. League game. Is it going to be senior night? Oh, senior night. With a mature team with a lot of seniors. Could be a late night. I'll have to tell my significant others on the home front that it may be a late one. But we appreciate. And this weekend, I've got a couple of collegiate games. Nothing too stressful. Long drive on Sunday. And then we'll be poised for the final week of the high school season next week here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. I hope everybody's games go off. I hope weather doesn't impact too greatly. That you have fantastic games with end-of-game situations, buzzer beaters, properly adjudicated end-of-game situations.
Billy Mack wants to know if there's a show on Wednesday.
There is indeed, of course there's a show on Wednesday. Isn't it up? Tonight I have a high school game at Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland. Brand new gym, spectacular. I wonder if they have an X on the floor at the table yet. You know, so one thing about this gym is, I guess there was a lot of donations. This is a school that with alumni, a lot of support on the lines, on the end line, on the 3-point line, on the center circle. It's a solid line, but they have the names of the donors written. Is this a technical foul by rule? It's certainly not a single solid color as a result. Oh, section semi. Excellent. Sounds like a lot of work. Stay limber. Take care of your body between games. Major rivals. Good. Rivalry game. End of season. Got to have all your tools available to you. Great pregame. Excellent. Sounds good, Kelly. Couple of varsity games. Couple of top teams. Yeah, I think we're calling obvious in that situation, Dave. I'm leaning 100%. It's got to be obvious. Yeah, Joe, the audio just didn't seem to work on that one play, which of course we wanted the audio with the last second horn. I don't know why it occurred. I don't know why. I'll be able to fix it in post. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate you being here today. It was great in the chat. Appreciate everybody. Darwin, good to see you. Go blue. Come on now. Unless it's go green. Go aquamarine. Ugh. Meetings. League game. Excellent. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Mike, they're a little time shifted up in Alaska. Got the high school hockey semifinal. Man, what skills you must have to be a hockey official. It's like another world to me. Another world. Well, I hope the semifinal goes well, Mike. Keep it safe and fair. Excellent. Oh, you had me at popcorn. Agreed. I know what you mean, Joe. I know what you mean. Todd, thanks for joining the live stream. Always appreciate you being here. Yeah. I can say very little. Kind of the doldrums. Are the Bucks playing well? I don't even know. I know they're near the top, of course. Yes. Adam and Darwin going at it. Toledo. Okay, cool. Uh-oh. Oh, Dave, I can relate somewhat. I am a victim of hip pain as well. And wow. Soldier on. So you have to wait another 5-6 weeks for surgery. I do hope all goes well and that it resolves everything. Ouch. Stay strong, stay medicated. Hey, Peter, good to see you on the live stream. Excellent. All right, playoff game or play-in game, but obviously critical that you make all the proper rulings. Hope it goes down to the wire and you guys kill it. District final tonight. Excellent. It is that time of year. Awesome. Of course, sometimes we anticipate that, our really important game, but sometimes it's not the game that we would have hoped. We always want to refine our skills so that we can be great in key moments, make proper adjudications, etc. Sometimes the game we have is a 25-point game. Both teams are sitting in a zone. It's a nothing burger. We can only do the game that we have in front of us, but we need, of course, to be prepared. Kevin, I need to try that, man. I need to try that. All right. With that, I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate, without equivocation, everybody joining today. The live stream was, the chat was lit. It was great communication, great conversation. But I am going to say goodbye to all. Have a great game, and we'll see you next Wednesday, Billy Mack, for Basketball Rules Expert. Probably be a mailbag show. And we'll see you then.